Hey everyone, and welcome to another We Connect Wednesday. I just wanted to connect you guys with some epic people doing epic things that I've been watching evolve over the year since NatEx, and I wanted to see where life can go and the magic of NatEx can take you, and what you guys are up to. So, hey Carissa, and hey Phoebe.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. So, earlier this year we had NatEx, and and it was a pretty big deal for me. But I've been kind of connecting with you guys to try and find out what effect NatEx actually has on the practitioners that come. So, before you were coming to NatEx, what was the deal? Where were you at?
Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
You can go first.
Well, to be honest, I was just like a very plain Jane practitioner. I came out of uni a couple of years ago, and I was always taught that one-on-one consults is bread and butter, and that's just what we do. And that's kind of all I knew. And it's not that I didn't enjoy it. I'm so passionate and I love helping people. I just didn't realize this was what I was doing. And then post NatEx, there's so much, and you just don't get told, or you don't learn, or you don't. I didn't even know. Yeah, I just didn't know. So yeah, I just had a really little business, just face to face. Didn't do anything online. I had a little Instagram, which I still have and I love doing, but I wasn't using it in the right way, but I didn't realize that. And yeah, that's my little story.
I love that. Yeah. And it's a common one as well, that, and I experienced it as well in that my qualification taught me how to do one-on-one, and even my background in research. I didn't get taught that research was a thing, let alone running a business, melding my online stuff, melding my love of business and lifestyle and a whole bunch of other woo-woo things. We didn't get taught any of that.
Yeah.
What about you, Carissa?
So at the beginning of this year, I was a new Nat, very new. I didn't have a business that really existed. I had started doing some online consults and some at my house at the end of the year before that, because I had finished nutrition. So I then had this massive part of January where I had no income. And then you did the scavenger hunt and I got involved in that. And it was just such an awesome mindset shift for me to start doing things in my business that they don't teach you in college. And at the end of that, you and I had a chat, because I really wanted to go to NatEx, and I'd been hoping to win the ticket, but I didn't. Yeah. And we talked about NatEx and Nat Club, and I said, okay, if I can get X amount of money by this time next week, then I'm in. And out of nowhere, I manifested the money. So I was like, okay, I'm going for it. It's happening. And I went to NatEx, and it was just such an awesome weekend to see naturopaths coming together to talk about business and to just learn from what they were doing, and just to see how you have so much opportunity to do what you desire. But I was the week after NatEx going into my first face-to-face business. So I just started in a clinic. It was a chiro for one-to-ones. So I was just taking that first step into a kind of bricks and mortar business. But we'll get to where that's gone.
Yeah. So being fresh out and it is hard to tell, and that's why I run the scavenger hunt first thing every year, is because it is hard to tell, okay, so what next? Great, I know what to do with the body, but what do I have to set up, and what comes next, and what happens when that body's in front of me? So, really big deal. And so, and manifesting is such a huge part of our Naturepreneur Hub, as well as the way that I love the mindset shifts that kind of element brings. And to do that so quickly and so instantaneously, once you put your mind to it, and once you can prove it to yourself, it's so replicatable time and time again, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're surrounded by people who believe and are talking about it all the time as well.
100%. Yeah.
So when you were at NatEx, what did you get out of it?
Do you want me to go first again? I had this, I can't even explain it, like huge, like emotional shift, this crazy thing we did, whoever was there, that breathing thing, which my friend dragged me to. It was like, I was not into that at all. Life-changing, and I don't use that lightly. And so for me, I learned so much. I can't even pinpoint, I can't even answer this question properly. I essentially I went there and I was pretty, not timid, but I was just like kind of doing my thing, and I actually couldn't afford to be there, but I did it anyway. And, you know, then after the 2 days, I just got spat in, not even like an emotion. I learned things I didn't know existed. I didn't realize what we could do with this naturopathy degree. It's not actually a naturopathy degree. It's so much more. And I learned that from the speakers. I realized I didn't even know it existed. I realized I had huge money blocks. If Denise isn't the greatest human in the world, I don't know who is.
She's back this year because we all need her.
Seriously, every year, every 6 months, I could just listen to her speak and remind me, like, what are you doing? That's a money block. So, yeah, I can't really explain it very well. It has absolutely blown my mind, and my year has been, oh, sorry, that's my dog.
That's okay, I'm getting the same at my house.
Yeah,
my real life people.
My year would not have been what it is without NatEx, plain and simple.
Yeah, I agree.
Good to hear. And what about you, Carissa? What did you get out of the weekend?
Yeah, it was just all of those missing elements you don't have at college and at uni. They don't teach you about business. They don't teach you about mindset. They don't teach you about money blocks. They don't teach you about other ways your business can expand. And it was so good to see different people coming in and giving their wisdom and their learnings, and just everybody was just so free with information and just wanted to share. And that was what felt really good, because it wasn't like somebody was over here going, oh, I'm over here as a naturopath and I don't want to share it. It was like, no, we're all in this together. Yes. And that's what felt really good, that and that's what you've created, you know, in the hub. And I just felt like, oh yeah, this is one of the first spaces that I felt I could share and be me. And, you know, I've been in a million groups in Facebook for years, and I just didn't feel like that. But then I got to NatEx and I was like, oh, hi, I've seen you in the, you know, in the hub. And and then people know your name. And it just felt like we were all just coming together. That, you know, that in real life stuff was really awesome.
That's one of my favorite bits, because I mean, apart from, I think we are all on the same team, and then, you know, collaboration over competition, 100%. But to actually get everybody in the room and see everybody's at different heights, like you've seen one another online, and you resonate with some of the ways that people describe things online, and you're like, oh gosh, that person's there commenting again. I wonder what they've got to say about that thing. And then you meet everyone in real life and you're like, oh, hi, or oh, hello. Like,
so true.
Yeah. So the year that has been since NatEx, Phoebe, especially, you were saying that you wouldn't have had the same year had you have not kicked it off with NatEx. What's the magic ripple that's come for you from NatEx?
So like I spoke about earlier, the money block thing. So I didn't realize, or I never thought of, or I didn't think I could or should sell, I guess, my knowledge in different ways. Obviously one-on-ones, that's just one way you're selling your knowledge and helping people. And, you know, we always get taught in this business, you're doing it because you help people, and well, that's fine, but doctors get paid, firemen get paid. Why are we not, you know, getting paid? Yeah. So for me, the biggest thing is passive income. Denise, yeah, I know. So, you know, I now run an 8-week program, which is essentially my bread and butter. That's, you know, and I'm fine with that. That's my big income, and it's priced the way it is because, you know, and someone in the group asked me a few weeks ago, how'd you do your pricing? Because that's what I wanted. And that if you read the book, I won't sound like such a crazy person, but that you charge what you want. And I didn't know that. I thought it was years of experience, or I had to do these special courses and these special things. I'm also selling meal plans. I sell I sell. I'm just about to release a 14-day program. Like, I'm just tailoring and doing all these different things behind the scenes. I mean, it's kind of setting me up for when I have a baby as well.
Yes.
But yeah, it's pushing me. This passive income thing has like changed my life. Like, I do online consults as well. Oh, there's so much going on here. Sorry. But yes.
I love it.
What else is happening?
But it's an amazing thing to think that you're now going to be having a baby and you're able to not just be in the mindset of, oh, it's one-on-one, therefore I have to shut down my practice and therefore I'll have to like forget everything when I am pregnant and then I'll have to come back and remember it all again. It's literally setting yourself up for success in a consistent way of bringing in business and sharing your knowledge and being a practitioner while you're not even there.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, this passive income thing has just like blown my mind, to be honest. It's, you know, when I got my tax back, like even my accountant was like, whoa, like this is heaps different to last year. I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, super cool. Awesome. So big changes, massive, financial, family-wise, changes in mindset, all of that. That's so, so cool. And I'm so excited. And I'm so excited that there's another little entrepreneur baby on the way.
Yeah, it's there.
What about you, Carissa?
So for me, lots. I have been on the up and down, up and down, up and down, and so many breakdowns, but so many amazing breakthroughs happened on the other side. And I know if I hadn't have gone to NatEx and been part of the hub, I wouldn't have felt as safe in that transition period that consistently happened. And I recently made a decision to massively pivot out of, you know, only 9 months in, out of the one-to-one space and onto online. And I'm just in the midst of about to launch a 12-week program. So yeah, and I feel so good about it. And if I hadn't have gone through everything this year and just trying things and then, you know, knowing that feeling inside when it's not actually working, and to the point of like the Denise stuff as well, you know, the not discounting and knowing your worth and your value. And yeah, it's so hard at first because you just want to give to people. But when you can see that that's not supporting you as well, and you are the person who's helping people. If you can't help yourself, how can you help others? So having all of that information and watching other people step up in the Naturepreneur groups and people who are doing amazing things with their programs and their businesses, it's just so inspiring. And being part of that has just really helped me to make those steps as well.
Yeah, and what I love about what you've been doing as well is often like the status quo is the one-to-one, and then the status quo is the multimodality clinic, and then it's like, okay, you know, but you can get to that stage and you can pivot and do something that's in alignment with you depending on your time of cycle of life, your season of life, what you want to achieve that in that kind of part of your life. And to go from practicing in a multimodality clinic to then going, actually, I'm going to do this online because I really want to travel and I really want to just, you know, change the way that I'm seeing, you know, people and the way I'm actually helping people, and there's something else available. And then being able to pivot with confidence because you've been able to see it. It's been wonderful to see you do that.
Well, thanks. It feels pretty mad at times, but it's also really exciting. And I was just thinking about this morning. Here we are at the end of 2019 and holy moly, what has happened this year. But I am moving into 2020 feeling the most confident in myself that I've ever had. And it's that embracing of the unknown is actually really exciting now. And, you know, I wouldn't have been able to do that a few years ago without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love hearing all the yumminess. And I think that is that other thing that we were just talking about, to understand that we do have blocks and that we do have breakdowns, and that in the roller coaster that is business, or the roller coaster that is being in practice, we never used to talk about that. And it was one of the reasons that I started the whole Naturpreneur movement, is because we all go through that and nobody talks about it. And we all think it's some weird foreign thing until we start to actually go, oh, I'm just in contraction mode. Oh, I'm in expansion mode. Oh, other people feel this way too. It's okay. I can have my Kmart moment. And now I'm back in and I'm running sold out 8-week programs online and from my phone. And I'm still helping people. It's such I really think it's an amazing thing to be able to not feel by ourselves in what's truly really a normal thing that we make abnormal as practitioners and as entrepreneurs. So yeah, cool. So amazing ripple effects. What would you say if somebody is considering coming to NatEx and they're going, I don't know about this whole NatEx thing? What would you say?
Well, first of all, I was that person last year who I couldn't afford it. I definitely couldn't. I borrowed money to pay for my ticket. So for those people who say, you might not be able to afford it, that's like, just do it. Find the money, beg, borrow, steal, or manifest like you did. I should have done that. I didn't even know that was a thing though. So, and then, whatever your other excuses are, you're busy, you've got family. Honestly, the 2 days feel like weeks, and what gets put into those they're just game changers for not only your business, but for you. Honestly, I'm in such a different place. And those 2 days, like, I would give anything to not be 40 weeks pregnant that weekend. Like I'll go back every single year without a doubt, because it quite literally altered my life. And like I mentioned before, my accountant was like, wow, like, what is happening? Like, I doubled, what I made the previous year, and I worked half as much. So yeah, do it, jump in. Like, there is whatever excuse you have, chat to me and I'll debunk your excuse. Like, just do it. Just do it.
Oh my goodness, that totally fills my heart. That is so good to hear, Phoebe. So good to hear. Wow. And Carissa, what would you say?
I feel like Phoebe just said it all. It's no, but it is that, like, we can come up with all of the excuses, but if we really want to thrive and expand as people and in our businesses, going to events like this that are specifically being tailored by people in our profession, so they understand where we're at and they understand all of the little ups and downs that we go through, to be able to have that in a container that just feels so supportive is like, it's such good value. And it's just such an awesome weekend, and you walk away feeling inspired, feeling that buzz, and the amount of ideas that come out just from being in a weekend.
Yeah,
huge. Yeah. And then you feel like, oh, hang on a sec, I can do this, instead of thinking like you're constantly butting up against like resistance of whatever it is you've got going on. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to see what you guys create for 2020, because the flow is just like, whoo, keep on going. So well done, you guys. It's amazing to see what you continue to create, and you're such integral parts of our Naturpreneur Hub community. Thank you so much for sharing your insights today. And like I said, can't wait to see what you create for 2020. Thanks, guys.
Yay. Thanks, Tammy.